in passing the endotracheal tube over the scope into the trachea. So, this is the commonest complication which we come across. Though we are able to enter into the glottis very freely, after that if you want to pass the endotracheal tube over the fibro optics, most of the time we will find it very difficult. So, here we are trying to keep the fibro optic scope very taut, and over the taut fibro optics we try to push the endotracheal tube inside. Sometimes for that we need two people to hold the scope and keep it taut and try to manipulate the endotracheal tube. The manipulations are two: either you have to thrust the endotracheal tube, or otherwise we have to rotate the endotracheal tube to push it over the scope, and this is called the dynamic airway compression. You can see nicely the trachealis muscle coming upwards and try to obliterate the view. And if you do a fibro optic bronchoscope, awake individuals with all your airway blocks and everything, the patient will be like this, awake, trying to obey your commands and keeping the endotracheal tube without any bucking. So, the nice anesthetized airway is very important for your successful fiber optic intubations, and end of it the patient should be like this, and you can immediately induce the patient for the anesthesia. It is one another case of a lingual thyroid coming for an anesthesia for excision. When you have expected the lingual thyroid, and if it is seen in the CT scan of a larger mass occupying just below the epiglottis, is a predicted difficult airway, and we took the patient for fiber optic intubation. We passed through the nasopharynx, and you can see a large lingual thyroid occupying the subepiglottic area, obscuring the vision, and we will try to go below the swelling and see the epiglottis, the pushed epiglottis down there, and always try to keep the glottis in the center of your vision, so that you can easily identify the structure and you can push the endotracheal tube also without itching on these structures. And while you are passing it, you can see the cricothyroid puncture, injection of the local anesthetic solution there, and there will be some amount of bleeding like this always. And after identifying the cricoid ring, going into the trachea, counting the tracheal rings from the carina or towards the carina, you have to count the tracheal ring. Once you enter it, you can push it. Always this is the commonest phenomenon, like Dr. Apex was telling about the dynamic airway collapse, most commonly due to the swallowing and the esophageal movement. And one important trick is the keeping the scope always in the midline and try to orientate the glottis in the midline and steady. So, whenever you twist the scopes, try to bring it toward the midline, and this is the way we have to see the glottis nicely in the center of field and enter into the trachea. So, for the successful fiber optic intubations, the airway should not be an irritable airway, and patient should be very cooperative. We have already discussed about the airway blocks and everything by Dr. Senthil. One important thing is the airway anesthesia is the rule, not a trick or anything. It has to be done properly, and the single most factor for a successful fiber optic intubation is not the technique,